express very deep condolences for the passing of your colleague. We pray that God grants you the fortitude to bear the loss. For aviation, we presented 2 memos. One particular memo contained a number of approvals, a number of propositions, and then approvals. So today it was the turn of aviation to get the kind attention of the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Fund. And we are very grateful that today Mr. President decided to turn his attention to aviation for massive infrastructural upgrades across the country. This is very, very heartwarming to everybody in the aviation sector. And I will just brief you, give you a highlight of what Mr. President and Council approved today. Through the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund, a number of projects were approved for the aviation sector today. One is the rehabilitation, upgrade, and modernization of the International Terminal 1 in Lagos. Before, I'd given you a hint that this was coming. In my previous various interviews, I'd given you a hint that this was coming, but today was a formal approval by Council. And so that old airport you see there, the old Lagos airports, Murtala Mohammed International Airport, we have decided to strip it down for total rehabilitation. So this is not the patchwork we used to do before, where we just do some patchwork in some sections and all of that. The total rehabilitation would mean, just for transparency, to let the public know, that we are going to strip it down to only the carcass, and then do the complete M&E again, mechanical, electrical, plumbing, everything, to have a brand new airport in Lagos, solely funded by the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund. That contract has been awarded to CCECC. CCECC that also constructed the new Terminal B, Terminal 2 there in Lagos. Now, for also Terminal 2, we're also going to touch it too. That is what the new Chinese terminal there. And that would mean building apron, the expansion of Terminal 2 building apron, including the construction of access road and bridges and other associated works at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. So this is a happy news, and the completion period is 22 months. 22 months. And the total cost will come up to 712 billion, 258,565,482 naira 18 kobo for all of this rehabilitation of the Lagos airport. Now, another project again under the Renewed Hope Infrastructure Development Fund is the rehabilitation of runway 0624, 0523. That's virtually the 2 runways in Kano, and taxiway with upgrade of airfield ground lighting system of Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. And we are also going to improve the landing aid there to Cat 2 LED. Cat 2 LED, if you understand what Cat 2 is, category 2. The type of light you see in at the Kano airport there. Sometimes you can see that during the hazy season, the Harmattan, sometimes flights to some parts of the country that have the Harmattan haze, they will be canceling flights or delaying flights for the haze to clear. But with the navigational aids we are bringing to Malam Aminu Kano, Cat 2, you can land even in very hazy weather. You can land at Aminu Kano. So Mr. President decided to turn his attention to there to fully upgrade the landing system, taxiway, and the runways of Malam Aminu Kano International Airport. That is for 24 weeks, and that will cost 46 billion, 392 million, 454,624 naira and 4 kobo. The other projects to enjoy the attention of Mr. President in the aviation sector and council is the construction of 14.6 kilometer security metal fence operational road, installation of CCTV cameras, intruder detection systems, illumination with solar floodlights at the MMIA Lagos, the Murtala Mohammed International Airport Lagos. Complete fencing. There have been so many intrusions into that airport from different angles. And though it did not happen in Lagos, but you know it happened in some other airport before where you saw that upon landing, an aircraft ran into a deer on the runway. I'm sure you saw that image some months back, where you know things, sometimes some animals and all that, or even people at times find their way into the airport through some unmanned areas. But now, when you have the type of sophisticated fence and equipment we are bringing in are the ones that you can have a command center. It's a very modern equipment. The ones you see in very modern airports across the world, the command center where you can detect anything moving around any of your fence, and that's for the whole of 14 kilometers round. You don't have to even use human beings to patrol those places again. Anybody that comes close to the fence, you will detect that there's an intruder or somebody close to the fence in any part, and it will detect where that person is or where that element is around the fence. That is also for 24 months, including CCTV cameras, metal fence, operational road, and all of that, detection system, simulation with solar and all of that. And that is for 49 billion, 899 million, 681,901 naira, 44 kobo for 24 months. The other one is for the rehabilitation of runway 0321 and taxiway with upgrade of airfield ground lighting system to Cat 2 at Obafemi Jeremiah Awolowo Airport, International Airport in Port Harcourt. So the Port Harcourt International Airport will also benefit from this. It's also Cat 2. What we are doing in Kano, we are also doing in Port Harcourt to improve the landing system to Category 2. You know, you also experience haze and all that around Port Harcourt too in Harmattan period where they cancel flights when you cannot land because of low visibility. Category 1, Category 2, Category 3, those are the type of airfield lighting and navigational systems that tell you that gives you the type of visibility you need, different types of visibility, Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3, for approach and landing at different airports. That is for 42 billion, 143 million, 264,117 naira, 84 kobo. We also turned our attention to the rehabilitation of runway 18 left and 36 right section of taxiway B and C with upgrade of airfield ground lighting and system runway of 18 left, 36 right, 18 left, 36 right to Cat 2 led at Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos. So that is actually also upgrading the landing system at our major gateway in Nigeria, Lagos. That is of 44 billion, 134 million, 285,901 954 naira 11 kobo, and that is for 30 weeks. So it will go simultaneously with the reconstruction of the terminal there, with the old terminal building. Now, we also have the reconstruction and conversion of Apron Phase 1, and that is 32,100 square meters. Phase 2, 34,087.5 square meters. And Phase 3, 16,200 meters to rigid pavement at domestic wing of Murtala Mohammed Airport, Lagos. That's the domestic wing, not the international wing. This is the reconstruction of the apron there at the domestic wing there. And a couple of things they want to do. The square meters. We want to expand where the aircraft can park. The aprons are where aircrafts park. When you see the runways are where they land, and the taxiways are where they come in, and the aprons are where they park. So we want to expand the aprons there where we can accommodate more aircraft there. And that is for 17.5 months. It's for 274,544,454,000, sorry, 888 naira 91 kobo. So those are the major interventions in the aviation sector in terms of infrastructure upgrade across the country that we want to, we approved today in council. Lastly, we also presented another memo for the approval of the full business case for the concession of Kano International Airport in Enugu, which is popularly known as the Enugu Airport. We had an unsolicited proposal from Aero Alliance Consortium to undertake the concession of the Kano International Airport in Enugu. Now, I have said it repeatedly before that most of the airports in the country, the smaller airports, apart from the major ones we have, we are running them at a loss. So all the profit we make from Kano, from Lagos, from Abuja, we pour all of those profits sometimes to run and keep all the other, some of the airports alive. This is open truth, open secret, I mean, that we have said repeatedly. And so it had always been the plan of this government to concession some of these airports to private individuals, bring in private participation so that they can run it for profit, especially the non-aeronautical part of the airports. They can develop it into different things and make profit too. If you go around the world, it's not only the aeronautical part that make profit, the parts that make profit for government. Non-aeronautical parts, you can have conference centers at airports, you can have shopping malls at the airport. Those are very modern airports across the world. And they generate as much, even more profit than you make on the aeronautical side. And so we need private sector participation to develop some of these airports and run them properly for profit. And government, instead of government now losing money, government will actually make profit from of this airport because the PPP will guarantee that government also gets its cut when you run them, in a very commercial manner. So we are starting with Enugu. Today we approved the business case for the concession of Enugu Airport and also the cargo terminal facility too. Enugu Airport has an uncompleted cargo terminal facility there, and that has also been concessioned out. The devil will still be in the details because, after FEC, you now sit down and then, of course, finalize all the little details in the agreement. And that, of course, at the right time, we are going to make public. But that's for 30 years. Just to let you know, the concession is for 30 years, a 30-year concession period. Other details, as we work them out, we are going to jointly address Nigerians to make it very transparent. Those in the consortium, their capacities and everything, Nigerians will know. And what each of them they have, we are going to make it very transparent and public at the time. We carry the unions along, just to let you know. I'm not someone who will ignore the unions. When we started this process, the first thing I did was to direct that the unions must be part of that committee. So at every point in time, the unions were fully carried along this process. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Minister. You agree with me that you are